get the stream running. Twitch, do we look like we're live? Yeah, we do. Set that live over there. And get the cat popped out. Down here. Fantastic. Hello, Tara. How are you doing today?
Tears down.
Bad start. Oh, even worse start. Not a good start.
Justice.
Not gonna be able to do anything good in here. You get a chest. And load in case. No. How are you doing, Tara? You doing good? Well, this is the one that I think gets us free stuff. Is ultimately gonna probably be very valuable. Hop is not into the quote the Targaryen thing. I'm assuming this is Hop does not find is not attracted to blue women who are too close to family. Yeah. Look, Hop's having her crash out arc. She's not. She's got standards, just about still. She's not quite just fucking anything blue that moves. I remember that being a fun episode to record. I don't remember the specifics, but I remember having a lot of fun with it. I assume right now we are in the right in the depths of the solution to everything is jars of glass. Slightly longer than I think it is to charge my charge attack, and I need to remember that. And take this. Come on, free item. There we go. That's what I need to be doing. Oh god, Meteor Swarm. I just want one chance to use Meteor Swarm without being told off for using it. Austin, let me use my cool high-level spell and don't, like, make me feel like I'm gonna get in trouble for using it. Ooh. Is there a battery in here, and if so, can I afford it? No, I need to remember to save. I need to remember to... have I done the bosses? Yeah. Hey, Netling! I'm doing good today! Physically tired. All of the books from the Unbound books after Unbound went bankrupt, finally, the books that were still left in our distributor's warehouse, because they either got sent to bookstores, the bookstores were like, fuck you, they're mine now. Don't care that you're not getting any money for them. Fuck you, we got paid. But the ones that were still in the warehouse are finally starting to be sent to me, which is great, but it does mean somewhere in the region of 700 books are going to have to live somewhere in my house for a while. And I was not ready for the amount of carrying books up and down stairs I was going to have to do. Okay. I need to remember to keep my Mr. Meeseeks box fully charged up to use it on stuff in the demon room, because that is where I'm going to get the most value out of free items. The clutter's not that bad. It's mainly just physically exhausting carrying heavy things of books up and down batches of stairs. Oh, no, you don't have to apologize. I wasn't correcting you in a no, don't call them clutter, in a just, nah, we did spend the weekend with them in the hallway, which was, inconvenient. Having them in the hallway was very like, oh, you wanna move to a different room? You're gonna have to hold in your breath while you walk. Because I was like, I'm not using my sorting this out. This is a Monday morning. Yes, and there's, despite having 14 very large boxes full of books in my home already, I still have like a third to go. I've still got like another 6 boxes. A self-storage unit's less of a thing in the UK than they are in the US. So, I don't have a car. So, let's say there was a 10-minute drive from me, a storage unit place. I would have to carry, like, 20 very large, very heavy boxes back and forth manually, which is, like, just not gonna happen. Or, like, because there's so many of them, I can't just, like, get a taxi. There's too many of them for me to load into someone's taxi reasonably, But also, like, they're books, so they're very heavily paper-reliant, and I'm like, I'm not sure that I want to have them somewhere that's, like, I can't control the humidity and that kind of conditions. But also, if I start posting these out, which I'm hoping to do in, but at the latest by, like, the new year, I want them somewhere where I can go, cool, I've had an order this morning, I'll go grab one out of the box, take it to the post office, send it off. And, like, that whole process kind of means that realistically, right now the best option I have available to me is live with hundreds of boxes around me. Okay, shouldn't have gone for that. Yeah, there's a few things with these books where having a car would have made this whole situation easier. I have the option. I ended up paying for postage to get these huge numbers of books shipped to me, which is honestly not that bad. But because my alternative was drive to Swansea and go. I was like, not having a car, it's fine. I'll just have them all slowly show up in the post. But they're not giving me tracking numbers, which means that every now and then I just get a mystery post where the door will ring and it's like, oh, are you Laura? Cool. Here's boxes so heavy that the parcel delivery person refuses to carry them all the way to the door and is like, you come to my van and collect them. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I don't know that, like, storage units are a huge thing over here in the UK. They definitely exist. But not, like, ubiquitously. Okay, I'm gonna start this run. No. Actually, you know what? Maybe if I fail this run, I'm gonna swap to a different character. I'm gonna use a character I've not used in a while, who I know is really fun to use for greed runs or greedier runs. I'm going to be Lilith with her crows. That seems fun. I know I've done greed mode with her a lot. I don't know if I've done greedier mode with her. We will find out. Hey, Echo! Hopefully I'm on the friend's side of that greeting, but, you know, I would understand if I was foes. How you doing? Yeah, I'm doing Binding of Isaac today, because I just finished playing through Metroid Prime 4, and as much as I enjoyed it, it's a game where I'm like, I don't know how much I want to play that through entirely on stream. Pokemon DLC is out on, like, Wednesday, and I'm eagerly waiting for that. I'm kind of between releases, and with all the other stuff I've got going on at the moment, I'm like, I just want some repetitive comfort games. Apparently, the Binding of Isaac is currently where I'm falling for. I want to do the same thing over and over, and probably lose every time, but occasionally win and then feel real good about myself. Okay. Oh, that's lovely, Echo. Let me just check my mic volume, blah, blah, blah. Oh. Is this looking any better volume-wise? For not drowning me out? Have they given a date for the Switch 2 update for the Binding of Isaac? No, they haven't. And I'm super eager for them to do that, because I want to get those, here is the explanation of what the item is without having to look up a third-party wiki. I want that to happen already. Oh god. Echo says, my clumsy ass managed to slip on my decking and break a rib again, so I'm laid up in bed. But I have ramen and a Laura stream, so it could be worse. I'm glad you've survived. Frequently I'll hear stories from you where I'm like, I'm glad it wasn't worse. Right. Health right now is... Yeah, damage and HP up is a very good start. I'm not using the bindingofisaac.com. What I'm using is, oh, what's it called? I've not got the tab open. Binding, I'm using Platinum God, the, oh, TBOI. Oh, yeah, that is it. Yeah, I'm using TBOI, the visual cheat sheets. The one that just shows me pictures and I'm like, oh, it's that one. I've seen it. That one in the picture is the one I'm looking for. Oh, fuck, one makes me larger. Eka says, it's like my 6th time breaking a rib, I'm kind of used to it. One of the less painful things to break. Just restricts your movement a bunch, mostly. I mean, nothing's fun to break. Tears up is good. Okay, if I can get the caffeine, that'll make me smaller again, and that'll bring me vaguely back toward a reasonable size. 5 is enough for me to get a key. Get Poison Touch and speed up. Stupid mushrooms, come on. Surface. this time. Come on, mushrooms. Surface. There we go. There we go. Speaking of Metroid Prime 4, I out loud apologized to Miles while playing the game, because boy did the trailer showing him not doing any favors to him, while actually he is a pretty lovely sidekick, all things considered. Nintendo chose the worst parts of his voice lines to present to us. I don't think it helped people from the previews taking specific lines out of context. Genuinely, by the end, I think he's annoying and at times, and I think that his inclusion in the game in some ways was ill thought out. But I do agree that by the end of the game, I do really like Miles in Metroid Prime 4. I think he's quite sweet by the end. Okay, right. 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. I have no bombs. Okay, I'm going to have to do the bosses. I want to shrink myself. I want to get that caffeine ASAP. Getting that early meat has really helped keeping up with the damage numbers on the bosses. Okay, we are going to buy caffeine. Oh, that's what that one does. Should have looked it up, but I didn't. Oh, that mushroom is stopping you spitting forward. That's great. I can take you out really effectively. Get this down to a 1v1. There we go. 25. I think there is a healing item for 15 currently in the shop. If I lose a heart to get 25 coins, then buy the healing item, I am still 10 up, which means I can get Mom's Ring for additional damage. That's how we do this. That 25 coins is almost always worth it in read runs. Oh, and I have Mum's knife. We can afford get this item. Oh, what does that one do? It looked like a bubble with a face on it. Or something. Okay, where can I find you? Oh, okay. Isaac's tears slow down over time while moving across the room. Upon stopping completely or hitting an object, they'll burst into 8 smaller tears which fire in all directions. Feed a tear with other tears causes it to increase in size. Don't know how this will work with the laser. Okay. Oh. Okay, it works with the laser. It has synergy. Oh, and leaving big bubbles of laser around the room. Okay, this is going to be very nice. This is way better for my limited attack range. Oh, okay, let's buy some things that are cheap at 7 on this floor if we can. Oh wow, that damage spikes up real quick. Okay, I need healing items pretty desperately, but if I can get my health up, this is looking like a very promising damage build. Yeah, this is the thing with playing with the laser, is that things will either have amazing synergy they weren't intended to, or literally just won't function. And remembering which ones are which is sometimes a challenge. Okay, how many floors down? You have a close-range death beam that also cluster bombs the whole screen. Yeah, so it's a short-range death beam, but because of the current upgrade, when it reaches its end, it stays physically in space, so other stuff can run into it. And if I keep firing, it'll get big enough and then explode in a wide range, defeating the one real weakness of my little death laser. Yeah, damage up and HP up. We've got the beginnings of a really promising build here. Give me different items. None of these are healing, are they? No. Okay. Buy a key. In the door. Spiders. Lovely. Desperately need HP increasing things to show up in the store ASAP. Potentially something battery operated, because I'm getting random free batteries. Which would be great if I had a battery-operated thing to increase my max health, maybe? Really, none of this really works. I'm gonna buy some cheap health. I'm gonna try and save my money. Get to the next floor. Do the devil room. I'm not going to find anything that's going to give me hearts in the devil room, so it's probably not wise, but... Okay. Yes, it's the jumper cables plugged into my head that are giving me the extra battery.
I found
Oh, health uphill. Health uphill.
up.
Okay. Okay, I need this health. Way higher than it is. Damage and range up is still good. Health. Where are all of my health items? More bombs. Oh, I should have bought just regular red hearts. It's too good of a damage build for me to lose like this, but it's gonna happen. I need to be using this less as a direct enemy attacker and more as a set a bunch of traps around the room that I don't need to be near when they go off. Half a heart. Ah, fuck. Okay. Let's shake it up. Let's do a run with Lilith. Lilith's cool thing is getting crows that'll help in combat. But as long as I stay in the room and don't leave the room, I'll get to spawn more and more crows mid-wave. What I need to do is... not crows, bats. Yeah. So I need to not leave the room until I've finished... Oh yeah, but Lilith herself doesn't actually fire any projectiles. All of the projectiles come out of the little bats. So what I need to do is do the whole thing, including the bosses, without going to the shop, ideally, so I can get as many of these little bats following me as possible. And I want things like BFF. I want stuff that improves me having buddies. You see very quickly what the plan with Lilith is. I'm not doing very well. It's been a while since I played her, but you see the game plan. She's quite weak until suddenly she's not. I need to remember I can do things like hide in the corners here. Just because my spawns have to be in hitting the enemy range doesn't mean Lilith has to be. Bad start, but I know that I've got the gist. Gumbo says, I've gone back to the fetid font of writing, and I have a question for you as a fellow traveller on this dark, twisted path. Have you ever given yourself anxiety because you went too far into a character's head who was going through a stressful situation? I mean, I've had real, genuine moments of stress. Less with writing, more with in real-time role-playing characters for Dice Funk. Certainly not frequently or anything, but there have definitely been moments where I have had very real emotional responses to character stuff. Be it the position a character was in, or my own decisions around them. I very genuinely mourned a certain Dice Funk player character's death that people will know of. Oh, Echo, thank you very much for the 21 months of sub. God, I've had this sitting around for a couple of months. Thank you for going into Bezos' house and being like, Bezos, Laura's Stream Night tax, and he didn't know what it was, but he didn't question it. What's paying one more tax to him? He's got infinite money. He didn't even question it. He just handed over some coins. Thank you for sending those my way. Bit of a stretch for the Jeff Bezos' prime money tonight. Oh god, I'm really not doing well with Lilith. Lilith is fun. I might go back to what's his face? I'm having the kind of night where I just want to do my little comfort gaming, and apparently that is I want my little laser. Pull up my sleeves. Speed up, so. Into this room. A little bit of health.
The fool.
Back to the start. What do I win? Two coins. Not gonna be enough for me to buy a key. So we're just gonna do this pretty much raw. Bad start. Oh. I have a show that I am eager to start watching that seems very interesting. It's on its first season at the moment. I'll stress, I've picked up on the premise via TikTok and have not yet had a chance to sit down and watch a proper full episode, and therefore no spoiling me, but also if it turns out to be a terrible show after I've given this pseudo recommendation, that's not my fault. I've given you a fair warning. There is a show called Pluribus, I believe it's called, that seems real interesting. The entirety of Earth has been infected with a virus that has turned the whole planet into a hive mind controlled by, I think, aliens. Except for, like, one woman who is seemingly immune to being hive-minded. And the planet is like, you know, what... Everyone has lost their free will, but also, you know, world peace has happened, end to all wars, all bigotry and whatnot. And it's seemingly the story of one woman immune to being part of the hive mind, the hive mind trying to be like, we can't hive mind you by force unless you consent, because we are an ethical species. You were immune to the thing that made everyone hive mind. So, what do we need to do to get you to agree to lose all your individuality and join the hive mind? And the tension between the last free-willed individual on Earth and a hive mind that is desperately trying to convince her to give up her free will, it seems fascinating. Ian Morris says, I've liked Pluribus. Yeah, it seems interesting. It's, I think, like, an episode or two away from finishing its first season, from what I can tell, and the premise sounds real interesting. I'm excited to give it a look. It's just trying to find time, as is always the curse. Ooh. Okay, get the fool. Revenge fly. No particularly good items. 2 treasure chests, but I can't afford a key to get into either. What kind of shit first items I'm gonna have to hope for. improve drops pretty soon. Revenge Fly is pretty good in Creed mode, because if I get hit once early on the floor, it'll just head over and do free damage for me for all the rest of the floor. As long as I don't leave the room, it's going to keep attacking tricky problem enemies for me. I have to survive long enough to make use of it, but... Choo-choo indeed, Echo. Choo-choo. Ow. I'm deep in trying to write my Game of the Year list at the second. I'm at that point in the year where I have to actually narrow down my thoughts on games enough to have a definitive list of ones I want to talk about this year. I've got a Control-Alt Access going up this week where me and Arevia try and talk about our 5 favourite games of the year. My full Game of the Year video is going to be considerably longer. I already cheated and put like 3 things on my honourable mentions just to get it down to 5, and even then I was like, I'm not happy that I've had to cut stuff off of here. I played a lot of really cool games this year. Look, it's always looking back at the end of the year trying to do Game of the Year stuff that I realise quite how many games I played and completed and enjoyed this year. I've got a 5-hour-long train in 2 weeks. I'm legit looking forward to it. I've said this before, I love flights, even if they're, you know, cramped commercial flights. I love trains. A big part of why I love journeys on public transport of varying kinds is just that it's a weird liminal zone. The rules don't apply, no one expects anything of you. Your job is be there and keep yourself entertained. And I can certainly live with be somewhere and keep myself entertained being my job. Oh, Cricket's Head. Cricket's Head is a really big damage increase. It's early in the run. Yeah, we're 2-shotting bosses. Lovely. I need the health up. This is a great start. Eating damage up. Oh, that's the Ludovico technique, isn't it? No, it's Laser Tears. Fuck. I thought it was the Ludovico technique. I always get the two mixed up. If it had been the Ludovico technique, it would have been worth losing that heart for. I should have double-checked it. Oh, LNER trains! Guaranteed comfy seats. Oh, beautiful. Roll Spider? I hope so as well. I'm gonna reach out to Valve about getting review access to the Steam Frame, Steam Controller 2, Steam Machines. I managed to successfully get in touch with Valve and get them to host the Accessibility Summer Showcase on their Summer Games Fest, like, Steam page area, and, like, do little promo things for it in the Steam promotions box. So, like, it's not the right department, but I have contacts at Steam who will help me with stuff, so I'm hoping to be able to do some accessibility coverage of that new Valve tech in the new year when we know more about that. Because we don't have a release date for any of that stuff, other than early 2026, if that. Like, I'm trying to work out when's a good time to reach out, and probably slightly closer to release. We'll get the key because we can't quite afford actualize him yet. Okay, my lack of health is a problem, but our damage output. Oh god, I don't think we're gonna survive long enough for me to have opinions about. Purchasing health items. Anything that spits out projectiles at me is my biggest problem right now. Okay, okay. I've survived. Are there any healing items? No. No bombs. Ooh. Okay. Ticket says to get the underground from King's Cross to Marylebone for my connection, but it's literally a straight road between the two in a pretty part of London. Takes about the same time to walk as it does on the tubes. I'm going to stretch my legs, taking the city for a bit before the second train. That sounds like a really lovely route. Heck yeah, I approve. This is a good train. This is a Laura approved train. Doing such good damage there. Okay, damage and range up is a really good start. Come on, I'm going to do a successful run tonight.
2 of hearts. The fool.
Okay, yeah, the RAM situation is not great right now. Cozy PJs would be good. Do I? Yeah. Do it. Get the PJs, I will be smaller with extra health. Do we have time to get this run up and running? There we go. Okay, well... Black hole is really nice. Go for it. Trap my bosses in one spot is going to make it way easier to get the heavy hits in on them.
Power pill.
Okay. Okay, I can afford a key. Let's take a gamble. Get the key. Yeah, I don't know that the Steam Machine is a thing. Well, we'll see what price gets announced and when it releases. I don't know that I would be the kind of person that is likely to buy a Steam Machine necessarily. I can definitely see a use case where it would be really useful in my work setup. I can definitely see a use case where I would use one. But it is just a case of... If I get one for review, I will likely end up using it as the thing that I run a lot of PC games on for streaming purposes, but... Yeah, that price is going to be make or break as to whether I can justify what would be a convenience item in my setup, but not a necessity. I'm gonna get one successful run tonight. I mean, Steam, with regards to the prices for the Steam machine, Valve, people from Valve have publicly stated it will be more in line with the price expectations of a similarly spec'd PC than it will be with console price points. And that, to me, suggests we're probably not looking at... Yeah... It makes me skeptical of claims we're going to hit the 550, 600 mark. I mean, with the PS5 Pro existing, $700 is still technically console price. I would like to be proven wrong, but I feel like... I don't know. We shall see. I think there is a mass market adoptable price, and there is a heavily enthusiast price. I don't want the chocolate milk. I don't think you even have to hit four figures before no one's buying it. I think if you hit like £800, I think you're already in the realm where console owners aren't going to buy it and PC gamers are just going to spend a bit more to have a higher end PC. Like, the sweet spot of the average consumer will pick it up, but also someone will go, yeah, that's honestly an affordable price for me to have a second PC in my living room that I can just, like, use for convenience. That's a real tight midpoint to try and hit. Oh, Valve could afford to take a hit selling it at a loss, but that's just not their vibe. They can afford not to have to do it. They can afford for this to be a vanity project that potentially sells very few units, and that's fine. because Steam will still bring them in infinity money. At least 15. Let's get increased range. That was literally just killed themselves. And one airstrike killed you. Lovely. Kind of like the old Steam box or whatever it was, the one that flopped because it was crazy expensive and offered no real advantage over a PC. I don't even think that's what killed the Steam machine the first time round. I think the problem with the Steam machine the first time round was they didn't have a good operating system, like dedicated operating system that people already knew worked well. They didn't have like a single machine that was like Valve produced and you knew which one to get. And they hadn't really instilled the idea yet of the benefit of a standardized Valve-produced PC is that Valve can do a little checkbox that tells you if your game runs well on it, and developers will be incentivized to make their games run well on set, predictable hardware. Like, Valve... The Steam Deck, being a handheld, really sold a lot of people on it, and got people to realize, oh, they've actually solved a lot of the fundamental problems that makes me more willing to buy in on Valve tech. Yeah, there were like 3 tiers, plus different manufacturers making them with different specs in. It wasn't a unified machine. It didn't have like decent custom OS on it that was like designed around controller usage. It just was an ill thought out thing. Where am I at price-wise now? 12 isn't going to afford me anything new, but... Oh. Ooh, Halo of Tears. Oh, beautiful. Okay. I'm gonna be honest, Maracas, I have not seen any discourse around Discord Dispatch being a, quote, Guna game, and whether or not that was a bad thing. That kind of discourse is about as far off of my radar as it could be, and I don't regret that. To my understanding, it being a Guna game would simply mean people might choose to masturbate to it, to which I say, is that a problem? Is it a problem if they've made a game that people might want to have a bit of wank to? That's honestly seems like not really a problem. Okay, we've got some health going this time. Oh yeah, Maracas Skullman, here's the thing. The reason I'm not seeing half this discourse. A lot of the times when you bring up discourse, I've not seen it because I left Twitter. And having not used Twitter, apart from to post a self-promoting tweet maybe once every 3 months to keep my account from being deemed inactive so that it doesn't get deactivated so someone doesn't jump on the handle and use it for a hate account. Like, that aside, I've not looked at a Twitter feed since around when Musk took it over, and Blue Sky's been a way more chill place to be. Because there's a Dispatch? Yeah, I love getting off to dialogue boxes in city maps. Well, there's that one scene where you and Invisigal could fuck, and like you wake up. Oh no, you don't even fuck. It's she has a sex dream about you. Invisigal can have a sex dream about you. There is some implied sex in that. Oh, this is a more promising run. Okay, oh, fuck. Didn't mean to start this fight now, but I guess we do. I can afford 2 items. We get the blood clot. Get the roid rage. Ooh, one more point. Yes, I can afford. What was it that I saw up here that I wanted? The caffeine. Oh, fucking health down. Who was my preferred romance option, Invisigal or Blonde Blazer? Of the two, yeah, despite the fact that there's some non-consensual elements in it, I liked Invisigal. Look, I'm a sucker for the I can fix her trope of lesbianism. Yeah, sure. It is sexual assault for her to turn invisible and then force her way into a kiss, but it's kind of sexy though. In a piece of fiction, in a fictional world, it was kind of sexy. Blonde Blazer's just very generic and vanilla, and like, I think she would be embarrassed by me being autistic, right? She's got she's got a prim and proper image to uphold. I feel like that would be less of a problem with Invisigal, but even then, I feel like neither of them are a good idea. One is your boss and one is your subordinate at work. There is an unhealthy power imbalance in both, and I would really have recommended not trying to date either of them, but Invisigal seemed like more of a fun, bad mistake to make, you know? Okay, well that undid the health that I lost us on that last floor. Master of Unlocking. Ooh. Purifying Light. Okay, okay. I can. Okay, okay. Right, let me date some of the men in that game. Let me, I'm not usually one to ask for that, but I agree. Let me date Water Lad. I should go back and get the airstrike. The airstrike's too good to leave behind. It's just auto-winning fights for me. I shouldn't be chucking it. Actually, come back. Let's get it. 17. Can I afford a health thing? No. Fuck it. I'm buying health. As demonstrated by the current season of Dice Funk, I do love me some good Toxic Fury. Let me make the messiest, worst kind of lesbian situationship I can possibly think of in fiction. Oh, fuck. Okay. Now, Blondblaze is the kind of person who'd say she would say she's okay with me being autistic, but she's 100% the kind of person who'd be like, oh no, I'm okay with you being autistic. I'm just not okay with, goes on to describe a bunch of behaviors of mine that are inherently autistic. Right. Like, she would pride herself on being fine with me being autistic, but would be like, it just bothers me when you, like, when you, like, rock back and forth, or, like, we go out for dinner and you ask for, like, bits to be taken out of your meals because you won't eat them with X, Y, and Z in them. I'm like, that's the tism. You know that kind of person? You ever met that kind of person? Like, maybe that's an uncharitable reading. It's a vibe I can't quantify, but I feel like she has. Fun fact: I've dated that I was gonna say caricature, that stereotype before. I have dated the I'm okay with you being autistic, just not the autistic things that you do. I love the reusable fly hive. The tier bag there is going to be really good. Stuff will now slow down when I'm near it. Veldstrom, you're right. It's the fact that Blondblazer was, the way she was embarrassed by the big alien dude. It wasn't just that he was wildly more into her than she was into him. It was that she was embarrassed by his social awkwardness. You're right. There was a weird level of autism phobia toward her relationship with Phenomenon. That's where I was getting the vibe from. Because he is so clear. Like, he's not perfect. He's a rough around the edges. But a lot of his character is just that he is a quite well-meaning autistic person that doesn't know how to socialize properly, and I'm like, I can get you. Oh, I wish I hadn't picked up the night light. The light turning around is really distracting me. I don't like that animation. I don't like that it's not lining up with the direction I'm facing, but it's the direction I'm walking. You just mentally try and ignore it. Like, in a literal sense, it is only benefiting me, but my brain wants to take advantage of it, and I don't have the hand-eye coordination tonight for that. So, I'm still pondering my, like, ultimate game of the year thoughts, but give me a second to get to the next floor. I'll give you the rundown on, like, where I'm at right now with that discussion. Because I had to brainstorm a list of this for, controller access stuff the other day. Sorry for the wait for one moment while I get this list up. Where's my list? It'd be in the Arevia chat. Up above here. So, here is the list of stuff that is right now in my, like, consideration, and I'm probably going to trim this down because, like, next week is when I'm properly going to try and get this Game of the Year video done. Lost Records Bloom and Rage, despite its ending kind of falling a little flat because it ultimately feels more interested in setting up a sequel than concluding its own story, I had a really wonderful time on the journey. Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. Look, I'm not going to say that's the best game that released this year, but it is maybe the game I had the most fun with this year. Like, it is maybe my favorite video game I played this year, and my personal game of the year, which does not have to align with technically the best game that released this year. Split Fiction. Its writing's a bit hammy and a bit corny in places. It's a very good co-op adventure. The hopping between worlds mechanic was fascinating gameplay-wise. The final sequence is a technical masterpiece I bloody loved. Wonder Stop. That game made me slow down and think about my own relationship to writing as a career and my own working myself into oblivion for fear of what am I if not my work. Absolutely heart-wrenchingly, personally affecting piece of narrative. Blueprints. It's an easy one to put on there. Mechanically fascinating. Real good, interesting game. Would probably be higher up my list if I could have played it on Switch. I didn't really want to be playing it on PlayStation, on console. I wish that there had been a Switch port of that, and I will probably go back to that game if there ever is a Switch port. Play Obscure Expedition 33, I think that's pretty obvious. Narratively fascinating. I love how much that game was willing to let me absolutely break it and trivialize its late game content in ways that were hilarious. My niche indie pick this year that I want to recommend is a free game that takes maybe 15 minutes to play. It is called This Game Ends in 205 Clicks. It is from the creators of Stars in Time, that time loop RPG a couple of years ago I put at the top of my Game of the Year list. It is a visual novel that, true to its name, there is a numerical counter up in the top right corner, and the game will end after 205 clicks, and it is maybe the most interesting game I played this year in terms of being a deliberately short game that takes advantage of the fact it's a short game to narrative effect, and that plays in the space. It is a superb game. Despelote, I can't do that game justice right now, but I wanna, let me pull something up quick. Yeah, I don't know how to talk about this game, and I've been trying to work out how I want to talk about this game. It has an incredibly gripping art style that is like 2D hand-drawn characters existing in a dot matrix world that looks sort of like the world from Return of the Obra Dinn. But it is a story about soccer. I'm gonna say soccer just because there's Americans here. Soccer and its role of cultural significance in Ecuador in 2001. It is a beautiful piece of art, a fascinating look into a culture that I could not have less of an idea about. Despalote is a really special game that I want to take the time to work out how to talk about properly. To a T is the weirdest fucking game I played this year. For all my problems I have with its disability representation, there's a lot of stuff I genuinely love about its representation of disability, and also, it's a game about a woman getting impregnated by a magical Tetris block from space, and I can't get over that. Deltarune's chapters 3 and 4, I really enjoyed. They're probably not going on my Game of the Year list because I really don't feel like putting an award on Deltarune until like all the chapters are out and it's like a complete thing. Date Everything, conflict of interest, I'll acknowledge, obviously, because Steph wrote for it. There is some of my favourite character writing this year and voice acting performances came from Date Everything. I love that it is just... It shifts the dating sim genre from being, like, small number of options very wide to a very lengthy to huge number of options very short. Very condensed, manageable dating sim that I really enjoyed. Death Stranding 2, definitely real high up there on my Game of the Year considerations. Its approach to telling a story about male grief that doesn't come in the form of angry, violent vengeance, absolutely superb. And the autism really enjoyed driving back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, collecting resources to build roads. Fucking love doing that shit. Abiotic Factor, definitely the co-op game I played the most this year. Me and Jane played through this over many, many, many months, and it was a really enjoyable game to keep coming back to throughout the year. My ultimate Game of the Year, like, if I'm gonna give one thing, like, Game of the Year for me, it's probably ultimately gonna be Bridge Command. I've talked about it ad nauseum. You're all bored of hearing me talk about Bridge Command. I started going in July and it took over my life, and I absolutely... This year is going to, in my head, be the year that I got really into Bridge Command. Like, that's going to be the thing that defined this year. Hades 2, it's up there. It's definitely one of the best things I played this year, but in my head it's a 2024 game. I really enjoyed playing that when it was in early access. I very much came back and really enjoyed playing it in 1.0. But to me, that first year is where I wanted to give it awards more than here. Lego Voyages. It's like 4 hours long and emotionally broke me and Jane, and I know that that's at least in part a factor of like when we played it on the day that was going to have the most emotional impact on us, but like it sure did have that emotional impact on us. Deep Rock Galactic Survivors. I really enjoyed it and played a lot of it. I really have nothing interesting to say about it. Ghost of Yotei, 20-hour, pretty solidly polished linear narrative game. Really loved the writing, really enjoyed the gameplay loop. That was probably the best AAA big budget main studio thing I played this year. Donkey Kong Bonanza, for any problems it has, it plays amazingly, and it was a very rewarding collectathon. I lost so much fucking time to that game. Ball X Pit, probably the roguelite I got the most fun out of this year. Pokemon Legends ZA, I know that it's not a great game, but it's a Pokemon game and I can't help who I am. And then Dispatch, that really shot up. It came out too recently, I haven't had enough time to sit with it and feel where I want to put it in this list, but I know it deserves to be there somewhere. Metroid Prime 4, I literally finished yesterday. It's too soon for me to know whether it wants to be in contention for this list. Now, I know that's too many games for a Game of the Year list. I'm gonna truncate that down, but, like, right now, that is the list of stuff that is swirling around in me, where I'm like, this is the stuff I'm leaning around. Am I gonna stream or sleep through the Game Awards? I'm gonna stream the Game Awards. I've managed to book a week off from Dice Funk recording. Echo says my personal game of the year is a visual novel that launched 2 years ago. Which one, if you don't mind me asking? But yes, I'm going to be around for the Game Awards. We're going to stream it through until like 5 AM UK when it ends. Yeah. Where was I? This is what I was doing. I gotta remind myself what we were up to. Oh, I'm not gonna buy fucking anything on this floor, am I? I feel bad that I feel pretty confident that my ultimate game of the year is going to go to a thing that is debatably a video game. Like, look, Bridge Command is, I would say it's fair to call Bridge Command a video game. It is fundamentally running on Empty Epsilon. Like, if I have to not give it to Bridge Command, I guess Empty Epsilon is my game of the year, but only in the context of using it to play Bridge Command, because Empty Epsilon, it's fine. It really is the set dressing and the people that make Bridge Command what it is, even if fundamentally it is Empty Epsilon with some extra bells and whistles pumped on top of it. As America Scoman says, as someone who uses end of the year list for recommendations, this pre-list is the perfect length. Hell, make it even longer. Honestly, I'm probably not going to trim it down that much. I'm going to do what I've done like the last 2 years, which is have my Game of the Year video be a bunch of very specific awards. So it's going to be like, best game I played this year that is debatably a video game. Best roguelike I played this year. Best blank I played this year. I start with a list like this of things I want to give awards to, and I go, what is it about? How can I summarize what this game excelled at this year into an award title? Bridge Command is a LARP, not a video game. It's both is the problem, because fundamentally, the gameplay mechanics of Bridge Command are a video game that exists that you can purchase called Empty Epsilon. Empty Epsilon is a video game, multi-person spaceship crew simulator. Bridge Command is playing Empty Epsilon with a DM and other players in the room in a spaceship-looking set with occasional actors rather than text telling you the plot. It is fundamentally a well-produced, DM'd game of Empty Epsilon. The Divine Speaker, it's by an indie team, it's really well written, really good voice acting, gorgeous art, 20-ish hours for a playthrough, and 3 cute boys you can opportunely romance. Lovely. Well, yes, I was buying a key. Ooh, Blood of the Martyr is one of the most powerful damage up cards we could get this early. Give a step on that button. Yeah, fire range up. There we go. That's the Fly Hive. Or Eternal Life. No. At that cost, I'm not buying either.
Up.
There's a few games this year that I've played like late into the night. Oh, let's go. No, for any debates to be had about whether or not Bridge Command should count as a game for Game of the Year purposes, I know fundamentally it would do a disservice to my opinions on Bridge Command to not put it in that top slot in terms of things that were gameplay experiences I did this year that deserve award nominations. A video game meets LARP. You know, sometimes things you don't expect end up being Game of the Year. I've had years where barely a video game visual novel has been my Game of the Year. This year it's pretending to be in space under Vauxhall train station. There's some other stuff that might end up on my Game of the Year list. An impossible game might end up on my Game of the Year list. I need to spend like another week or so mulling over thoughts. Similarly, Wildwood Down, I've just finished playing, and I need a little more time to settle on where I feel on it. But like that might be one of the indie ones that ends up on my Game of the Year list, is Wildwood Down. As a Game of the Year is arbitrary and personal, so I've been doing this professionally for as long as I have. If I want to put something as my Game of the Year, my overall Game of the Year, I'll do it. Sometimes that's a niche little time loop RPG. Sometimes it's I did too much LARPing this year. Tears and Faith up. 3 more points. Come on. Okay. No, not the Impossible Quiz. You're thinking of the Impossible Quiz. An Impossible Game is a recently released, maybe 15-minute long, free side-scrolling platformer designed to help people who are not disabled to understand what... How do I put this? What accessibility settings are and what they are not, and what it is like to play a game when you are disabled and a game does not have the settings you need for it to be playable. It is a very important piece of video game media that came out this year. Also, Sam Outside, thank you very much for the 4 months of sub. I'm sorry it took me a second to see that you had subbed. Thank you very much for the sub. This is the problem with playing a game like The Binding of Isaac. It's very hard to look away at chat. I do a lot of play a bunch of the game. Okay, look at chat, and I'll look back at chat. Yeah, look, That's the thing. Yeah, as you're right, Eth Demon. Bridge Command. Bridge Command in its current iteration launched in 2024. It was previously in 2019. A different version of the event run in a pub. It is not a thing that traditionally you would say released in 2025, but fundamentally it defined my 2025 in so many ways that, like, fuck it. I can't... Off the top of my head, how many hours of... I don't want to do that maths on stream. There are video games I played for fewer hours than I spent at Bridge Command this year, and had less consistently amazing experiences with. You know... Go. So many tiny spiders. Oh, give me new items. What can we have? Right, none of these particularly appeal to me. Get a couple of hearts. I love when a boss mostly explodes itself.
I found pills.
If Video Game Donkey can put decades-old games in his year-end list, why can't you put one that technically came out last year? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Okay, 3 hearts. Engine lockup. Give me a key. Okay. My key. Oh, temporary flight. That's not the one I thought it was. Okay. Can't quite afford that. I mean, I don't think even played it for the first time this year needs to be a criteria for Game of the Year. I'm not putting Hades 2 on my Game of the Year list. because it feels like a 2024 game more to me. But I also think I'd have been perfectly valid to put Hades 2 on my Game of the Year list if I'd wanted. It hit 1.0 this year. That's when I got to finish the game and like go, am I happy with the ending? Is that... Because actually, I'm pretty sure I first played Abiotic Factor in 2024, but I didn't put it on my Game of the Year list because like it didn't feel complete enough for me to... I needed to see the end of that game before I would know if I liked it. I think you're gonna have generally speaking rules, but I think like there will always be exceptions to those rules to go, yeah, what feels right for you? Okay. Final Fantasy XIV is probably one of Echo's Game of the Years, and that's like 10 years old at this point. Yeah, like, I get the sentiment, and I understand the desire to come up with a set of criteria. It's one of the things that was really interesting about helping do the judging for the Indie Game Awards this year. Was hammering out spiritually or holistically, what do you want the purpose of an award you give to be, and as such, how do you let the validity criteria... How do you set the validity criteria so that you are able to reward the kind of things that you think the award fundamentally should be rewarding? Does that make sense? It's less about... It's less about using the criteria to box in what you're allowed to reward and going, if you're getting annoyed that you can't give a thing that you feel deserves Game of the Year because of the criteria you gave, do you reconsider that criteria? Is that criteria serving its purpose if it won't allow you to nominate a thing that feels deserving? Oh yeah, I feel like there should be rules, but I think those rules should also be fully able to be tweaked and changed midway through doing the awards if you're like, actually that kind of stifles a thing that deserves to win. Like, in theory I have rules, but if those rules aren't helping me to award the things that feel worth awarding, then fuck 'em. Those rules didn't help. Press the Lost, lovely. Okay. Oh, we got a half-price floor right near the end of the run. Lovely, 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 lovely. Okay. keep giving me good stuff in the half-price slot. This would be a perfect floor for the Demon Room to offer me the 25 cents. Or 25 coins. Coins? No. But I have nearly 2 full rows of hearts. And... well, I'm gonna get 3 coins somewhere. I'm gonna make the most of this half-price floor.
Tears up.
Come on, 3 coins. 3 coins somewhere. Get 1 more item. Okay. I tried. There are secret rooms, but I'm not particularly amazing at remembering where they are, so... a little bit of damage to get. Okay, let's go. Also, for specificity, I am not on greed mode, I am on greedier mode. I am on the hard mode of greed mode. This has been a really, really mean floor. Okay. The damage numbers are great. Health really is not. Is that damage high enough for us to push through? Probably not. Probably not. Oh, there was a rock there I could have blown up for cool stuff. Okay. Well, can I do this fight with basically no health? Let's find out. Wish me luck, everyone. Okay, again we go. I'm gonna win at least one run tonight. It's going to happen. Wealth of wealth. Lovely, good start. Come on, I'm gonna get one of those really broken items, and it's gonna be one of those really fun, overpowered runs. Look, it's not my fault I'm playing on the harder version of green mode. I came here for a challenge, and I'm going to be challenged. Pause is pretty good for green mode, obviously. What does pause do? Oh. What a bad start, what a bad start. Freezes all enemies. Oh, yeah. My health is so low already. Let's do it. Okay. Die. Good start. Remember this time to go into this room. Gives us enough money to open the door. Temporary invincibility is nice to have. Oh, yeah. It's not the unicorn's not an item I'm gonna hold on to long term if I get better alternatives, but early on I'm not upset to have it. Don't really want any of those. Basically what I just fought. I can put like two of you together, it's not that bad. It's a little harder to track which of you is which and therefore pick one of you off quickly. Neither of these is survivable or worth it. Oh, very nice. Bombable chest. Yeah, I was never gonna go for sulfur at this health. Oh, the spores. Oh, and Mr. Dolly. And pajamas. Red. Oh, things are looking better. We'll grab Mum's underwear for some increased range. Hey, Daniel Aldridge. I mean, I'm having a great time playing The Binding of Isaac. I'm not winning or anything, but I'm having a fun time not winning, so... You know, that's good enough for me. One coin. Even more range. And down yet further.
"48-hour energy." Gulp.
I can come in this room and then leave safely this way. Okay. Come on, health. One away, one health. Come on, give me health. Oh. I got the coins I needed and then died before I could buy the healing item. Yeah, gonna make it. We are gonna make it. We are gonna make it. For realsies. Is full brimstone. Come on. Some hearts in here, no. Also, fuck it. I know it's gonna kill me, but I need to take it to show the game I want it. Please give it to me. So I'm realizing I've missed something going on in chat. Okay. Rule Spider's asking, how do you ask a female friend, how do you tell a female friend, I found an adult toy of yours in my guest room? Obviously it's gonna depend specifics on, like, who the friend is and what your relationship with them is, but I'm in the camp that a lot of people in the chat seem to be in, which is, like, just be open about it and have a bit of a laugh about it. Like, don't... It's only gonna be weird if you make it weird. Like, if I think about this, let's say I've got a couple of friends from Brighton who will often come and, like, they'll stay the weekend and they'll stay in my office where we've got a spare bed set up. And if I was to be changing the bedding and go, that's a sex toy in the bed, it depends on your relationship with them where you take that. Like, for some people it would be, hey, just letting you know, if you've lost an item while visiting, you haven't been able to find it since getting home, I found it while changing the bed sheets. I'll put it aside, you're welcome to it any time. With other friends, with the two friends from Brighton I'm thinking of, I would literally just send them a photo of it and go, I'll put this somewhere for you, shall I? Like, if you don't make it weird, you have a little joke with it, I think it'll be fine. You could go the route of, like, you have left a, quote, personal item. But I think, and maybe this is just me. I just wouldn't be ashamed about it. I'd just be like, glad you had fun. Glad the bed held up. I'll get this back to you sometime. I think for me, my response would be, look, I'm just glad that you feel able to feel at home at my place, you know. I always worry whether I'm doing enough to make you feel comfortable, and well, now I know. Yeah, I don't need to worry about that so much. Hee hee hee. Again, I have very free-form relationships with a lot of my friends. I have a friend who just enjoys being naked, and that's fine. There's nothing sexual about it. Occasionally it'll just be like, oh hey, hey, I was gonna name them. Hey friend, you just being naked at the moment? Cool, no worries. I have at least one friend that once very matter-of-factly went over many years ago was just like, I'm just gonna go upstairs, have a wank. I'm like, cool, have a good time. You know, you just gotta. Humans are humans. Don't make things weird. Try and foster the kind of relationships with people where they can simply be like, I'm just gonna take this upstairs for 5 minutes for me. Cool, have a good one. Probably gonna be my last attempted run for tonight. If we don't succeed tonight, that's fine. Wednesday I'm gonna be back streaming the Pokemon DLC that comes out on Wednesday. The Mega Dimensions. I'm gonna be streaming that here on Wednesday. And Thursday I'm gonna be streaming the Game Awards from midnight until like midnight till 5 AM UK or whatever it is. Probably not going to be streaming Friday, but you're getting an extra long Thursday stream from me, so we'll leave it in. Screw it, I'm leaving it here. Yeah, Roll Spider says, Lady was in my house for 3 months because she was in the process of finding a new apartment away from ex-partner. Being kind enough to be a temporary shelter. Yeah, I think that's the way to. Okay, yeah. Given what you were explaining about, like, hey, one of you's Debbie, one's lesbian, it is what it is. I think that's a great way to do it. It's like, I have one of your things left over in the bedroom. Want tea, cookies, and video games? Come pick it up Friday. Like, it'll be nice to catch up, and we don't make a big deal out of it, but have a bit of a laugh over it. I think that's a very healthy response, yeah. Oh yeah, no. I won't lie. I've at least once done the oops, I forgot to pack those away before friends came over. Oh, there's just a couple of phallic objects in the bathroom over there. Have a giggle, it doesn't have to be a big deal. Right, I'm going to leave the stream here for tonight. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming along. This has been lovely. I will be streaming Pokemon on Wednesday, Game Awards on Thursday, probably Pokemon all week next week. And next week might be my last... let me look at my calendar. Give me a second. When am I... yeah, next week's probably going to be my last week of streaming for the year, and then I'm going to take like 2 weeks off over the festive period. I'm going to be streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday as usual next week, but I'm probably going to be doing a stream on Thursday as well for the Indie Game Awards. Looking forward to those. I did a lot of help with curating the nominees and as part of the voting panel and putting together the accessibility category. I'm very excited to see who's won. I don't know the winners at this present moment. Yeah, have a good rest of your day, everyone.